And today we're going to talk about the I just want to give my condolences to the Carolina Panthers for the massacre that happened yesterday. And we're going to give flowers to the Panthers owner and organization for our destroying of the Carolina Panthers yesterday. But in all great news, though, we won. We had a dominant win, 36-10, and we're going to talk all about it. But before we do, Mike, is there any, I guess, things we should work on, negatives that you saw in yesterday's game?
Well, I want to shout out also the kid that brought the sign with the details of the Bryce Young trade on there. Seeing that and then seeing the final scorecard of 36-10, it just really brought it brought some light in my life, some needed optimism. So good for that. Listen, this game was pretty much perfect all the way around. I do have one minor complaint because I have to be that guy. I have to say one minor complaint.
Wow!
The rushing game, still not there yet. Right, DeAndre Swift, 21 carries, 73 yards, only 3.5 per carry. I know Tevin Jenkins left in the middle of the game with an injury. Similarly, on the other side, Chuba Hubbard, though, 13 carries for 97 yards, ripped that 38-yard touchdown early in the first quarter. Pretty much ended up being their only score. They kind of got a field goal towards garbage time, but that's really it. Other than that, I thought the Bears played a really, really good game of football. Their offense was really good. Their defense continues to be phenomenal. Special teams made plays. And you know what? This is the type of game that we've been wanting to see from the Bears all year. Last week against the Rams, it was a close game. They made enough plays at the end. But we haven't seen a, from start to finish, truly dominant game like we did yesterday all year.
Yeah.
And, we talked about this Panthers game being a quote-unquote freebie, right? A game that the Bears needed to come out in. They needed to look like the better team. You don't want to keep the Panthers around. You want to have a comfortable lead. And that's what they did. That is exactly what they did. After the Panthers scored their touchdown, it was all Bears the rest of the game. Again, like I said, they played well on all three sides of the ball. So very, very encouraging win, I think, for the Bears yesterday.
No, and I agree. I mean, we've preached this all, for pretty much a whole podcast series. You have to win the games that you're supposed to win. And this was a game that coming in, we knew that we were more talented. We had a better offense. And we came in there and we stood on business. And I think definitely when you do that and it instills confidence, this is our second win in a row. Hopefully we'll go for 3 wins in London. Chip, pip, chip, cheerio.
What the heck? All right, well,
you
need to work on your accent.
But no, going into the positive, Caleb Williams, 20 of 29, 304 yards, 2 tutties, and no interceptions. Now, yes, the Panthers' defense is not that good, but to not mess up is a great thing either. Yeah. And I just thought he just played. 20 of 29. It's not like, oh, my gosh, he had an electric game, but it was a smart game, right? He made the plays. He made the accurate throws he was supposed to make, and he seemed calm and collected, which
Yes.
Go ahead.
Game is like it's slowing down for him a little bit.
Yes.
You saw him calling out some stuff in the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
He was going through his progressions. He's not trying to force the ball down the field, but what was so encouraging about yesterday was he was connecting on those deep shots, right?
He was,
the one to DJ Moore with Mike Jackson in man coverage, threw a perfect pass, and that's kind of the one element that we've needed to see from Caleb, where the last couple of weeks, he's been more in his element. He's not turning the ball over. Second straight week without a turnover for Caleb Williams. That's winning football, by the way. But, we've been like, okay, you're doing the little things. Let's hit those deep shots. Well, he was doing at USC. He hit him yesterday, right? He had the crosser to DJ Moore, which was probably a blown coverage assignment that he took advantage of.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, what wasn't terrible coverage by Michael Jackson, the Panthers' corner. He just gave DJ Moore a shot, put it in a good spot. So I thought this was Caleb Williams' best game of his career.
Okay.
And it's encouraging that I've said that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, right?
His progress so far has been linear.
Yeah.
Started off, it looked rough against Tennessee, and it looked rough against Houston. But, against Indianapolis, he made a couple steps. And then last week against Los Angeles, he made steps. He took a few more steps yesterday. So I could just continue to be encouraged by the progress that Caleb Williams is making. He's being asked to do a lot right now. He's calling out protections. He's making audibles at the line. And he's doing it, with not a whole lot of a run game. It's not like he's got, the Lions running backs as his support or whatever. Very, very impressed with Caleb. Again, another 300-yard performance. He's the first Bears rookie ever to have multiple 300-yard passing games. He's done it in 5 games.
Wow.
Very encouraging. Completing 20 of 29, I believe that's about a 68% completion if my mental math is correct. So just playing winning football.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing. We don't need him to go out there and throw for 400 yards.
No.
We mentioned it in the Texans game. We don't want him throwing 50 times a game. That's not the recipe for success.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing the ball at a good rate. He's completing a high percentage of his passes. He's keeping the ball out of harm's way. And he's making plays. So now we're cooking a little bit with Caleb Williams.
We are cooking. And you said you don't want him to throw for 400 yards. I think I do, only to see you paint your nails. I sound
like my mom. Yeah, you sound like my mom.
I just want to see it so we can get as many viewers as we can.
Yeah. I'll do it. Listen, I'll do it happily. All right. I have no
Hey,
issues.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I think definitely. I love the linear progress that Caleb is making, and I think we're going to continue to see that throughout the season. I saw a stat yesterday that he's already 44th all-time in Bears
which is
yardage.
incredibly sad. 5 games, that is incredibly sad.
And I'm curious. I think he'll definitely get the top 10 or top 20 before the season's over.
I was going to say, you might get top 10 by the end of the year.
Yeah, he definitely will.
Yeah.
So very excited to see his progress, but he was not the only one that was tortured up the field yesterday. How about DJ Moore?
The former Panther, man. A little revenge game. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't love a good revenge game, man?
Oh, yeah,
perfect.
For sure. Yeah.
He had 5 catches, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns,
Jeez.
Both of which I mentioned were big plays from Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things about this offense that I thought we hadn't seen so far this year.
Yeah.
Was, I guess, the big plays from DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of speculation on the internet that they weren't getting along. And who cares?
Crazy.
They connected on 2 big plays yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
which were huge. Again, the blown coverage, like I said, from J.C. Horn. I think he had man coverage, and he wanted to pass it off, but he didn't have help on that side of the field. And then
Mm-hmm.
Mike Jackson, who, again, had pretty good coverage, just a perfect ball and a great catch by DJ Moore.
Yeah.
This is what I like to see. I like to see DJ Moore involved in this passing game. He is our number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
Roma Dunze is great. Keenan Allen's great. Cole Kmet is great. Don't even mention Gerald Everett. But DJ Moore is far and away our number 1 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you have a number 1 receiver like that, you want to see him involved in the offense. You want to see him putting up 100 yards or more a game, multiple touchdowns. Now, is he going to have 100 yards, 2 touchdowns every game? No.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very encouraged by the productivity yesterday, taking advantage of a subpar Carolina secondary, him and DJ Moore. That's the key for our offense to take that next step, is for him and DJ Moore to continue to be on the same page and continue to connect on those deep plays.
No, I agree. I mean, this is why we signed him for that extension, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he is our wide receiver one, and I'm very glad that him and Caleb Williams are starting to get on the same page, and I think with more time will be even better. So great all around, and I think he had a phenomenal game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to shout out Cole Kmet also as well, who's becoming more of a part of this passing game. DeAndre Swift is a nice receiving back as well.
Yeah.
I had 47 yards receiving yesterday. And then Roma Dunze, 5 catches, only for 40 yards. But, he's a rookie. That'll kind of come. I think, he'll have peaks and valleys. He'll have games where he's really good and then games where he only has 40 yards, which I'm not super concerned about. There's other weapons on this offense. But we can't just spend the whole review talking about the offense, Justin.
No.
We have to talk about the defense.
Yeah.
And I have to shout out my man, the big boy, Gervon Dexter.
Yes.
5 sacks already this year
Jeez.
from an interior lineman. He had a fumble recovery. I mean, he was just all in the face of Andy Dalton and Bryce Young yesterday.
Yeah.
He was causing havoc. And there's something so special about a dominant interior defensive lineman.
Yes.
They just ruin. They're the closest to the ball. They can just ruin plays.
They can, yeah.
He is, he's wrecking plays right now. He's wrecking games. It's amazing. I know the Bears, were criticized last year in the draft for not taking Jalen Carter. Well, right now Dexter's playing better than Jalen Carter, right? And you got, Darnell Wright in the first round as your right tackle. So I want to shout him out. I think he's been playing phenomenally. For my money, he's been the best interior defensive lineman in the NFL this season. Maybe that's a bold take. I think the stats in the film would back it up. And then, of course, we have our defensive backs as well. Kevin Byard got an interception. DBs were playing lockdown all game. When the Panthers' leading receiver was Jalen Coker.
Yeah.
That's how you know the Bears DBs had a pretty good day.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And not to forget Jaquan Brisker, man, gets knocked out in the first half, returns, and knocks somebody else out for a fumble. I mean, you can't make this up. And
he got a little Peanut Tillman in him, you know what I'm saying?
I loved it.
Like punch.
I
like it.
It was something that, like I said, both sides of the ball for the Bears played really, really well, and this is what we expect. I think our defense is definitely a little bit better than our offense right now. I think we're still going to be growing into our offense. But to see that our defense is still holding up it's pretty good. So
They've played pretty consistently all year at a top 5 level. I mean, we're a little more than a quarter way through the year. They're playing at a top 5 level week in and week out.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what will help the Bears down the stretch where games where their offense, falters or, they're turning the ball over or whatever. That defense, I think, is a steady presence that they're going to need throughout the rest of the year.
Very much so.
Speaking of steady presence, or I guess lack thereof, offensive line, they play pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we might have been playing against the JV team.
Yeah.
In the Panthers. Their D-line, not that good. They traded away Brian Burns. Derek Brown is out for the rest of the year with an injury. But when Caleb Williams doesn't hit the turf, it's a good day.
Yeah, right.
And
sacks.
He didn't get sacked at all today. Part of that was just his athleticism, running around, making plays.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that, you do have to give credit to the protection. It was better today. And as loud as we have been and as vocal as we have been negatively talking about them, we got to give them their props. They did pretty good yesterday. They
did. And, I mean, I saw a tweet that was like, an NFL team's an NFL team, right? Yeah, the Panthers aren't the best team in the NFL, but, I feel like our Bears O-line did a great job of protecting Caleb. Like you said, there was a couple of plays when he literally dodged a Panthers lineman.
He is incredibly twitchy.
He is
incredibly twitchy.
He is, which is useful, right? We know that Caleb is no Lamar Jackson. He's not mobile, but at the same time, he's able to escape defenders and still make a play, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
I mean, I give our offensive line a little bit of credit. I think we'll definitely see, once we go up against these tougher teams to see how it'll really improve or not. But I do think it's a great sign to see that they can actually protect Caleb, and Caleb should be saying, hey, hopefully this is like this all the time.
Yeah.
We shall see.
This is the games where those linemen get those good Christmas gifts come
yes,
December.
yeah, the watches,
the Rolex.
The Rolexes, the
I
golf
saw
carts.
Mahomes bought his guys golf carts last year. So, these are the type of games, man. You keep my jersey clean.
Yeah.
We're going to have good times at Hallis Hall.
They're going to Benihana's on him. So.
Hey, listen now. He's still got that rookie contract.
You're right.
Don't
go
too crazy.
You're right. Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. One other negative we need to discuss. Matt Pryor got ejected.
Oh, yeah. That was
kind of, I think, instigated by the Panthers more than anything
very
else,
much so.
Because we scored late. We were already up so big. The game was out of hand. I guess things just got chippy.
Yeah.
There was a little push and shove in, maybe a punch or two thrown. And it's like, dude, at that point in the game, just stop. Like, you're up. Nothing good is going to come from you, going that extra mile, going that extra step.
Yeah.
I understand it's football and the competitive juices are flowing and the anger's pumping through the veins. Just chill out. All right. We don't need you getting in any trouble. We don't need you getting suspended. We're already thin enough at offensive line.
Yeah.
We don't need to cause any more trouble. So, again, not going to, lean on that. Not going to just talk about that the rest of the episode, but let's cut that out. All right.
Yeah.
We're not the Packers. All right. We don't. Boom. Got him.
I got him. I agree.